Hey, how you feeling, man?
I'm okay. I'm tired.
Hello, tired. I'm Greg. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Fan Fiction Theater Month. As always, I'm Greg, and that over there is May. Say hello.
Hello.
It looks like I'm pointing at your DVDs of Italia, but I'm actually pointing at you,
You
the
can
woman.
point at me, and I can point at.
Boop. So it's like I point at you. Okay, so it's like I point at you, and you point at the weeb. That whole back there is weeb.
Yep,
That's all it is.
That's all my weeb stuff.
That is all your weeb shit. So, we have read some spicy Voltron fanfiction. Mm-hmm. We read some very spicy Persona 5 fanfiction. Mm-hmm. So now it's time to amp up some of the spice, because today we're reading fanfictions from the latest Steam sensation, Dream Daddy. Are you excited for these fanfictions? So we chose our two favorite characters from Dream Daddy to read fanfictions about. We're reading my favorite character today, your favorite character Friday. Today we are reading a Craig Dadsona fic
That's so funny.
called A Time Remembered and Recreated. Man. So we got it won't be nearly as long as Friday's episode. Okay. We are so sorry. It was nearly 6,000 words of reading.
Didn't realize there was that many words.
We didn't realize we need to just pay attention to the word count. We've paid attention to the word count for the second half. So we're not making like 30, 40-minute episodes.
The one I would find they were really short, so we would read those.
God, remember the first episode of Fanfiction Theater was a 900-word fic.
Oh, the vor with
the C3PO vor fic. Yeah, that was funny.
That was memories.
God, that was fucking January 2016. But let's get going. I think though, before we get started, what should our name for Dadsona be for this fanfic?
It already says right here, Lee.
Oh.
Yeah, Lee. His name is
Lee. Okay, well they took away the fun.
No, for this fic, he's named Lee. I like Lee.
You like Lee as a name. Why do you like Lee as a name?
It's simple for the Dadsona. Dadsona is simple. Dadsona's a simple character. He's a simple man.
Listen,
he likes
we made
dick.
him.
He likes dick.
He likes dick.
He's simple man.
He's a simple man.
He likes
dick, and then he loves his daughter.
There you go. It's very simple.
A very simple.
So Lee
man.
Is his name.
Oh, and he loves ska.
There you go.
He loves ska. He loves his daughter, and he loves some good dick.
See, that's a simple man. If I ever
simple
found
man
one.
with simple needs. Yep. I am but a simple man. But all right, I guess we'll go with Lee then in this fic.
Yep.
All right. So when Craig mentions to Dadsona Lee, I love parentheses Dadsona Lee, about something he remembers from their college days, Lee decides to recreate the situation and make it awesome for the both of them.
Heyo.
Hey, man, this is about to get weird. So
who is reading who?
We'll just go back and forth. Like we'll read I'll read a page and then you'll read a page.
Okay.
We'll bounce back and forth.
Okay, cool.
I felt that worked the best.
That does.
Because when we did the Goro Akechi Akira one, I was like, I'll read for Akechi, and Akechi had no dialogue except for ums and ahs and oh Akira, fuck me harder. That's all he had. So you read that whole fic.
I did.
So we'll just go back and
Give
forth.
me practice.
Oh yeah, dude. If you like the way that May read that, please consider her for your next audiobook. Finger cut. Oh man. Alrighty, so let's get started.
Alright, here we go.
There were times Lee was certain that he and Craig had shared a special connection, not just as bros in college and currently, but that there had always been a sort of attraction between them. One such thought came to him as he was doing some work at home on his laptop. The thought occurred as he was bored doing work and thinking about his boyfriend's potentially all sweaty and out of breath from his current workout at the gym. A very enticing thought. It was like a deja vu for a moment. He had had a crush on him in college and, like any regular person, had thoughts about his crush.
Aww.
A sudden, gentle ruffle of his long black hair startled him out of his thoughts. Whoa, sorry, bro. I didn't mean to scare you. I was calling you a bit, but you were zoned out, Craig said. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be like, wow, yo, bro.
You were being a bro dude
I fucking really fell into that, like, super easy. It's like I'm a dude bro or something like that.
You are. I mean, you got the hat on.
Hell yeah, dude. My dudes. Dude, it is fan fiction, my dudes. The amused smirk on his lips was attractive, and Lee just wanted to kiss it. He moved to sit on his knees and wrap one hand around Craig's strong neck. The kiss was light and gentle, but his hand scratching at the base of that neck suggested other ideas. It's all right. I was just thinking about something from college, Lee said. He moved to sit back down, making sure to take his boyfriend along with him. The taller man got comfortable sitting with their legs touching. Oh yeah? What crazy thing? Sorry, I just realized that I was fucking up that dude bro thing. Oh yeah? What crazy thing that we did came to you today? Huh? What crazy thing that we did came to you today? Craig asked. That was true. There were a lot of things they did together in college. Lee just blushed a little bit. Of course, there was too much to mention in a general statement about that time period. You remember when you walked in... Oh no. I just read that sentence. Let's try that again. You remember when you walked in on me masturbating that one time? I'm sorry, I can't say that with a straight face.
You want me to read it?
No, I got it. It's just really funny. Because I know it's not Craig saying it, but I also want to say it's like, hey bro, remember when you walked in on me masturbating that one time? Dude, that shit was weird, right? Oh my God. I mean, did you like the form at least? Was it okay? See, the air conditioner agrees with me. Anyway.
It's too hot.
It's too hot. Hot damn. You remember when you walked in on me masturbating that one time? I just sort of had a similar feeling before you shook me out of my thoughts. It's a weird deja vu thing, Lee said. He played with a lock of hair, letting the fine black thread spill over and over in his hand. Craig's face turned red all the way up to his ears. Oh, dude, I should have apologized for that. Oh, dude, I should apologize for that now. I mean, given the fact that if I walked in on you now, I'd have a slightly different reaction. Probably would want to watch you finish or join you, Craig said. A little suggestive quirk. The little suggestive quirk to one... Wow, I am not doing good at words today. I apologize. Do not hire me for your audiobooks. I will just keep fucking up words. Let's try that again. The little suggestive quirk to one eyebrow got Lee's cheeks blushing. Strong arms pulled the smaller man close, so that Lee was perched atop those thick, muscular thighs. He wrapped an arm around his boyfriend and smiled a little. You don't need to apologize. I shouldn't have left left my bedroom door open. I almost said bathroom door. That would have been even more awkward. That's just asking to get caught. I can't imagine how you felt. Just as embarrassed as me. Lee pressed a small kiss on Craig's cheek, hoping that it wasn't too awkward of a conversation. Craig had begun to pet at the base of Lee's neck and shoulders, gently massaging away any tension. He leaned into that broad chest, making it easier for Craig to reach whatever he wanted. Trust me, I was pretty embarrassed, but not like you'd think. It was Craig's turn to blush, a small dusting of pink over his nose and cheeks. Confused green eyes looked into the handsome face so close already. I think it's supposed to be already. Okay, your turn. So now for the good reader, May, please do continue.
I don't understand. I'm pretty sure walking in on someone is one of the most embarrassing things that could happen, Lee said. Yes. Craig nodded and shifted his smaller boyfriend a little so that Lee was now sitting with his legs on either side of Craig's. Now they could look into one another's face a bit better. Geez, this is weird to say. It's been so many years. Well, you know I had feelings for you. We've talked a bit about it since we've got together. That moment is what started my feelings for you. They became something I recognized more. I was embarrassed, but only because seeing you like that turned me on. The explanation helped immensely. Fuck. Being walked in on had ruined the mood and he couldn't continue.
Hold on. Before you get started, So Craig is saying that the day he walked in on Dadsona masturbating is when he started his feelings for him. So basically it's like, yeah, bro, the day I saw you jerking your dick, I was like, man, I think I like this guy.
Well, maybe because maybe it's one of those things where, like, you know, you don't realize you like the person until you see them doing something really erotic. Then you realize, I really have,
I got boners for days.
I really like seeing this, so that's probably what it is, you know? Okay.
Anyway, please continue.
It turned you on, And what did you do about it? Lee asked. He had shifted a little, pressing their chests together. His voice stayed soft and quiet, not wanting to startle the other men out of the comfortable atmosphere of confession that swirled around them. Lee ran his delicate fingers gently over Craig's arms, caressing in an effort to keep things calm. He needed to hear what happened, even if it was a cold shower taken to ease a younger Craig's embarrassment. Craig looked like he was struggling to answer, but he just took a long, calming breath. He relaxed into the couch more and concentrated on Lee's eyes, green meeting honey brown. Oh, I fucked my hand so hard.
Yo, bro, I fucked the shit out of my hand.
I was embarrassed after and felt ashamed to think about my bro like that, but you look so hot. I remember you were still dressed, holding your t-shirt in your mouth. You looked like you were on your knees. Couldn't tell, really. It was like you were on display for me, and damn, I'm getting a little hard now. Craig's face was so red. Lee had frozen in his caressing a bit, stunned by that bit of information. He leaned forward a little, pressing very light kisses along that sharp jawline up to his ear.
Hold on again. I'm sorry. The line, I felt ashamed to think about my bro like that. But you look so hot.
Hey, man.
Like, I'm sorry, bro. You just looked hot. I want to fuck you.
He's just being honest, right?
Here's the thing. It's such a Craig thing to say. Because he's totally like bro and dude a lot.
Bro, dude, bro.
Bro, dude, bro. Bro, dude, bro.
Bro, dude, bro.
I'm sorry for all the stopping. I just find it really funny. It's like, man, I didn't want to think about my bro like that. But I wanted to fuck the shit out of my bro.
Bro.
Babe, I call you bro because you're a bro like one of my bros. Related to the shirt I'm wearing. Alright, go ahead, continue.
Where was I at?
Right,
oh,
so,
I know.
yeah.
Okay. When you fucked your hand, were you thinking of me? What you wanted to do to me? Lee's voice was rough. He was a hard two, so many directions to take this information in, he wasn't sure what to do. Craig made a small noise, struggling to keep quiet. Those large hands moved to hold Lee's hips, gently massaging them. Clearly he needed to be grounded or something. Lee, it's been so long, I don't even remember, but I know I thought of you then, Craig said. He reached out to gently run his fingers through the longer part of Craig's short hair, doing his best to keep things calm. Hey, no pressure on remembering. I'm flattered you thought of me. Probably wanted to touch me, right? Wanted to have me fuck your hand too, right? It sounded a little tame now, but in the context of their younger selves, it could have been pretty dirty. Craig's eyes widened a bit, but he nodded. His hand squeezed Lee's hips and tugged him a bit closer.
You're reading that next line.
Want to touch you now, bro, please. Craig's voice sounded high and a bit far away. Lee stood up, having gotten an idea. Come on, I've got an idea. Lee took one hand and gently held it as they moved towards the bedroom. He stopped in the hallway for a moment and kissed Craig's cheek softly. You want me to read this?
Yeah, read this next paragraph.
Don't come in until I say go, okay? Lee asked. He got a nod, even though Craig looked a little confused. As he walked into the bedroom, he swayed his hips a little, knowing Craig was watching. He heard a small noise, probably Craig trying to be quiet. Honestly, the man was too careful even when the kids weren't home.
I'm still like, want to touch you now, bro, please. That's a great... So when we went down to that part, I caught a glimpse of the line. I'm like, oh, god damn it, Meg gets to read that gem of a line. Alright, here we go. Oh boy, here we go. Once he was alone, he kept the door cracked open. All the lights were turned on, blinds kept closed to prevent neighbors from seeing anything. He got situated on the bed, sitting on his knees, even sitting up a bit to be taller. He put his shirt up, wrapping it through his neck to be able to talk properly. Finally he loosened his jeans and tugged the waistband down enough to get at his boxer briefs. Just talking about that time had him a little stiff, but knowing he was going to recreate the situation was getting him more excited. He slid a hand carefully over his length, squeezing and rubbing it to get fully hard. He let out a slow breath to calm himself down, and he started a lazy stroking, not wanting to lose it the moment Craig walked in. Go, he called out. Craig pushed the door open, with a confused look on his face, but then he froze. Lee had pulled his hair to one side and was looking down at his own erection, biting his bottom lip. His hands didn't move fast, making sure to show off what he was holding. Craig stumbled back against the wall, making it thud. Lee gasped, pretending to be startled. Man, this is great. Craig, I didn't know you'd be back yet, dude. I'm sorry. He covered himself up, trying not really to cover his hard cock. Craig finally caught on, his expression showing understanding. He pushed the door closed and locked it. It's cool, bro. Please don't hide. I think you look hot. possibly can't tell from there, but I'm getting hard already. Come on, bro. Bro, you're making me hard, bro. Craig said. He had his arms behind his back, turned away a little, like admitting he had been admitting that he had been embarrassing. Lee moved so he wasn't hiding his erection anymore, making himself fully open to Craig's eyes. He beckoned him with a finger to move closer, which Craig did. Lazy fingers moved along his stiff cock, almost in disinterest, needing to keep hard for his bro. Hold on. I'm going to read that sentence again, and I want you to take that sentence in. Lazy fingers moved along his stiff cock, almost in disinterest, needing to keep hard for his bro. It's one of the best fan fictions I've ever read. It's so good. Once Craig had moved closer, Lee smiled. Things were about to get fun. Do you want to watch me? Lee asked. He was holding the base of his own cock, trying to keep from getting too excited. Craig nodded excitedly. Lee moved off the bed for a moment, taking his pants off completely. He smiled at his boyfriend, happy that the little fantasy was going so far. He stayed standing, slowly stroking himself. Are you going to touch yourself too? He asked, looking down at the bulge in Craig's pants. The taller man blushed and fumbled at his cargo shorts for a bit. Once he was free, it was clear how turned on Craig had gotten. A large wet spot was on his own boxer briefs. He grabbed himself through the soft fabric, squeezing tightly. If the strain in his arms was anything to go by. Lee sat back on the bed, legs spread open so Craig could see properly. Man, he got them pre-cum in them shorts. Bro, man. I mean, it happens sometimes. Mm-hmm. You're that hard for me already? If I didn't know any better, I'd say you want more than to just watch me. Or want more to watch than just to watch me, Lee said. He rolled his thumb over his own sensitive head, making him shiver. Craig had lost his underwear and was palming himself a bit roughly. How hard had Lee made the other man so undone so soon? He hadn't even put his hands on his boyfriend. Yes, please, I want to touch you, Lee. Want you to touch me. Craig's voice was wrecked. He sounded so desperate. Lee's dick twitched. Damn. He smirked and reached out gently, smacked Craig's hand away from his own erection. Where we at? There we go. You want me to read this next part too?
Oh, I'm supposed to read. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. On your knees then, Craig Stan. No touching yourself just yet, he said.
Damn.
Craig whimpered and got to his knees, dick twitching at the command. Lee tugged his shirt off, moving closer to Craig to do the same thing for him. He made sure his cock was close enough to see up close, nearly touching the other man's cheek, if he moved right. Wow, you're being a good boy, huh? Like being told what to do? Craig nodded quickly at the question, not trusting in his voice to be steady. Lee reached out to pet Craig's hair, smiling down at him. Listen, if things get to be too much, stop me, okay? I care about you, bro.
I care about you, bro.
He got another nod and a dazzling smile. Craig looked so happy. He even saw some tears sticking to his eyelashes. Lee couldn't help himself and gently whipped at the tears. He knelt down and kissed his boyfriend's lips very softly. The scene could be broken a little bit. Hey, for real though, I'm sure those were happy tears, but I need to hear you'll tell me you'll stop me, he said. The kiss had distracted Craig a bit, but he cleared his throat. Yeah, I'll stop you. Fuck, dude, so much. Remembering that time and now acting it out differently, it's really hot, Craig said. Lee just smiled and continued to pet him. I'm sure. Want to get back in the scene or you want to stop? Lee asked. As much as he wanted to keep going, he needed to make sure Craig felt safe and loved. Yeah, just let me breathe, Craig answered. After a few deep breaths, he was ready. Lee took his own calming breaths, and once he was back in the zone, he smiled. The smaller man stood up, backing away to get a good view of his kneeling bro.
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing every time the word bro is used in this fic. It's so good.
Alright, here's what's going to happen. You've been really good. I'm glad you didn't get scared and run away. I need you to keep your hands either behind your back or at your sides where I can see them. Got it? Craig nodded quickly, putting his hands behind his back. Lee rewarded him with a gentle kiss to his forehead. Very good. I knew you'd be a good boy. You'll get rewarded for listening and punished for being bad, okay?
Damn.
I was thinking about this kind of stuff when you walked in. I wanted to be a good boy for you, but I don't mind the reverse. Lee had gotten down on Craig's level again, pressing searing kisses up his neck and right below his ear. His hands were pressing into his shoulders, making sure they were tension-free and to make sure he kept his hands behind his back. With every kiss and nip, he could feel Craig's shoulders twitch, like he was struggling to keep his hands still. After a little while, he moved back to show off again, his hard cock bobbing a little in movement. He wrapped his hand around himself and stroked slowly, a ragged sigh leaving him. He was so hard and looking at Craig just as hard, dripping pre-cum on the carpet was hot as hell. He could see the bigger man struggling with his hands, moving them from his back to his sides, or the back of his neck. Lee stroked himself lazily, watching Craig just look at him and struggle to stay put.
I'll go ahead and read the next paragraph. I just scrolled down so you can see it. Oh, you're doing so well. I'm proud of you for staying still. Look at your cock. It's dripping for me. Didn't know you had it that bad for me, Lee said. It was hard to keep a moan out of his voice. Craig was a mess already, and it was so lovely. He was still making little whimpers. His only tell that he was trying to be quiet other than biting his bottom lip. Okay, so this is Lee saying it. God, I feel so good touching myself like this. I bet you wish you could touch yourself or me, right? He asked. Craig whined loudly, gripping his own thighs so hard that he would probably leave marks on it. Fuck. Lee stood up and sat on the bed, his knees starting to hurt. You're so good keeping your hands away from your cock. I'm going to reward you, but first, come sit by me, Lee said. Craig's eyes looked a little unfocused, but he nodded in understanding, moving with shaky legs to sit on the bed beside him. Lee reached out and caressed his strong jaw, hoping the small touch could ease a little tension from his boyfriend. This was new for the both of them, but it was fun pushing the other man on the edge. Let me get that out of my system. Now, because you're such a good boy, I think I know what to do to you. I'll try that again. I am sucking at words. Now, because you've been such a good boy, I think I know what I can do for you. I'll let you touch me or suck me. Your choice. But you have to keep your hands away from your own dick. Got it? Lee wanted to see if he can make him come without even touching him. Ooh. Craig groaned, gripping the bed sheets hard. His cock was twitching and still had a pre-cum slowly leaking out. It was clear Craig was struggling with the choice, whimpering a little and trying to keep his hands still. Lee was still feeling a bit badly, but he could undo the other man. But if he could undo the other man, it would be worth it. Here, I have an idea. Show me your skills you show off so easy at parties. Chugging drinks and sucking dick aren't that different. Nice, Lee said. So I added the nice. He got to his knees once more, but the cushioned bed helped a lot. He gently pressed the head against Craig's lips, hoping he would open up. Craig groaned and happily accepted the offer, opening his mouth and taking Lee all the way to the base. Fuck, you're so good. Good boy. Real amazing. Lee was nearly breathless. Sure, he knew Craig could still control his gag reflex, but it was really surprising how smoothly he did it. Seeming like his mouth full, Craig had no problem making moaning noises along the little clicks that indicated that he was still breathing through deep throating. Lee ran his hands through Craig's hair, tugging here and there. Hands on his hips, keeping him in place with a little frustrating. He wanted to thrust into that perfect heat. Craig, damn, bro, your throat is perfect. But as good as you give head, I want to hear you be noisy. Come on. I want to see you on all fours. Ooh, damn, son, Lee said. I love the little things I'm adding. He'd been a liar if his dick didn't twitch at the thought. The long groan around his cock sent shivers right through him, and he was surprised that Craig was still locked on his dick, swallowing around it. It felt amazing, but Lee wedged his thumb into Craig's mouth, holding his lower jaw and gripping and gently pushing it back, the other hand tugging at his hair and making him pull away. The loud gasp from his lover breathing properly was both a relief and a sign that he needed to act quickly before he lost his nerve. That wasn't very good of you. You're being a bad boy. I'll have to punish you now. And you were so close to a reward. Get on all fours and spread your legs, Lee said. He stood up off the bed, waiting for Craig to obey. He did, even getting closer to the edge of the bed so Lee could reach. I'm sorry. I'll be good. I'm a good boy. Craig's voice was rough and had such a desperate edge to it. Fuck, damn it all, it was hot. Lee said nothing, but brought a hand down to smack that awesome ass Craig had. This fic is so good. It's so good. He made sure each cheek was red and seeing. Craig took the punishment, not silently, but with whimpers and even moans. Lee was going to come undone just listening to him.
You're taking your punishment so well, but there is one more thing I need you to do so you understand to listen next time. Spread your legs, Lee said, voice rough and very needy. His own cock was just as red and hard as Craig's looked. However, he was occasionally giving himself a squeeze or stroke to ease the pain. Craig's legs spread for him, giving him access to everything. Very good. Now you take your punishment, he said. He had pulled out the lube from the nightside table drawer. His finger was coated in a good-sized drop. Before he pressed it to Craig's tight entrance, he made sure to give his balls a good tap.
Ball tap.
He wasn't sure on the pain tolerance, but any surprise touch to that area could be enough of a punishment. He pressed his finger in slowly, not warming the lube and going in as soon as the muscle was relaxed enough. Craig was moaning now, letting out all the held-back noises. Lee just finger-fucked him, slowly adding a second finger. Think you can handle me after 2 fingers? Lee asked. He pressed his fingers in further, spreading them out to get Craig to use the stretch and burn. Craig groaned, pushing back into the fingers, wanting more. Lee took that as a yes and pulled his fingers out carefully. He covered himself in a good amount of lube, hoping to stave off any pain Craig might feel. On your back, I want to watch you, he ordered. As shaky as Craig was, he complied and laid on his back, holding one leg up so Lee had room to move. He lined his head up and slowly pressed into the tight muscle, urging his lover to relax with slow massaging circles into his hip. Once he was fully inside, he stopped to breathe a little bit. Craig looked wrecked, face completely red, quicker breathing, and his dick was so red and pre-cum was leaking freely onto his stomach. He was amazing he hadn't come yet. So tight. You feel great. Craig, you doing all right? Lee asked. Honestly, there was no way he wasn't going to come soon, and Lee was close too. Craig whimpered and wiggled his hips a little bit. Damn, he looked good undone like that. Lee slowly started to pull out before snapping back in. The pace was slow, making sure he didn't hurt his lover was important. My nose is itchy.
Rip, never forget.
Okay. Lee, oh my god, please, I want to be a good boy, Craig moaned. He picked up his pace, thrusting in a steady rhythm, still slow, but with enough force to make Craig's dick bounce. Lee smiled, squeezing Craig's hips with affection. He wasn't going to touch Craig any more than he had to. Yeah, you are a good boy. Look at you, so hard for me. I want you to come when I tell you, but no touching still. Think you can handle that? Lee asked. He started to pick up his thrusting, knowing his own orgasm was going to happen, and Craig needed to finish after him so he could watch. A strangle moan was his answer along with a nod. Lee rocked into his lover faster, looking for that one spot to see how far he could push Craig. It took a few tries, but soon he hit Craig's sweet spot, causing the other man to nearly scream with delight. Please, I can't. So hard. Craig was coming undone and moaning very loudly. This is exactly what Lee wanted. He continued to abuse his prostrate with hard thrusts, hitting it dead on each time, if those screams are anything to go by.
You can hold it for me, baby. You're so good. Good boy. Hold it in for me, darling. Lee panted. He was so close himself, but his little sadistic side was enjoying torturing Craig. A high whimper and sound of nails scratching at the bed sheets was his only answer. Craig's stomach was covered in so much pre-cum it looked like he had already lost it. He thrust a little harder, loving the way Craig was clenching around him. It only took a few more moments before Lee was losing himself and coming hard inside his lover. Oh, Craig, your body is so amazing. So tight, so warm. Come for me, baby. You're such a good boy. Do it for me. You don't even have to touch yourself. Lee knew he was babbling, but it all made his own orgasm feel that much better. Craig's back arched, his hips shifting just a bit, keeping Lee buried deep, a guttural moan leaving him. It was amazing watching the other man's orgasm, and not a single touch having been given to his cock since they had started their little scene. His stomach was painted white, little spurts still coming out even after the initial release. A smile spread over Lee's face as he leaned in to press a kiss at any clean patch of his skin he could find. He gently pulled out and sat next to him, sat next to his still recovering boyfriend. Wow, all that cum and you're still so hard. Maybe you need a hand? As gently as he could, he wrapped his hands around Craig's still very hard cock and gave it a few slow pumps. It had been just a tease, but to his surprise, Craig arched into the touch, high whines and moans leaving him as he came one more time. It was a dry orgasm, but it was still a little bit of fluid. But the little bit of fluid that had still trapped inside of him dribbled out. Hot. You're so hot, Lee murmured. He moved and pressed a searing kiss on Craig's lips, very happy that he responded, even if it was slowly at first. Craig just gave him a little dazed smile that did his best to catch his breath. After a few minutes of coming down from the best orgasm in history of ever, he could finally speak. Dude, if that happened in college, I'd have done anything you wanted. God damn. Remind me to remind you every time I thought of you back then. I want to make up for lost time, Craig said. Lee smiled, glad that they had a lot more fun looking forward to the food. Glad that they had a lot more fun to look forward to in the future. I love you. Let me clean you up and we can talk about it more if you don't want to sleep, he said. Craig just chuckled and sat up a bit. I love you too, and I'm so pumped, is this normal? It's called subspace. I'll tell you all about it. Though I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to take a run or eat. It was going to be a very nice time playing catch-up.
Aww.
And that is the end, ladies and gentlemen. That was
kind of cute.
That was hot.
Yeah, there were parts that were cute, though. I was like,
there were parts that were cute, and there were parts that were hot, and then a little bit of everything. So, May, what would you rate this fan fiction out of dad terms?
It's very daddylicious.
I would say it's 8 out of 8. Great Craig.
That too.
I don't know. I don't fucking know. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Fanfiction Theater. Hope you get the finger guns from the first episode. Of course we read the Clans fanfiction. I talked about this on another episode. Of course we read the Clans fanfiction, and Lance is one I'm going to go get the space lube. It's so good. So fucking good. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This was a hot episode. So tune in on Friday where we got another Dream Daddy one with her favorite daddy. Which, May, do you want to give them a little taste of who your favorite daddy is and Dream Daddy?
They gotta wait.
They gotta wait?
They gotta wait.
Damn!
Yup.
So if you want to find out, you better tune in on Friday for another edition of Fanfiction Theater. So until then, y'all take care, and, go
See
ahead.
you next time, Daddy-o.
I was going to say, go ahead and go masturbate. Because the fic was about masturbation? Mm-hmm. I don't know. See you next time, Daddy. 10 out of 10.